Celestians! If you have been following this wonderful channel for any length of time, you will know that I'm a Battle Sister person, and either from a video 2 years ago or my video just before this one on Legends, you'll know that I was very upset when my Celestian squad with guns didn't get any rules in 10th edition, not in the Index, not in the Codex, not in Legends, only a limp, use the Celestians as regular Battle Sisters. At least in the Champions of Faith we can have better weapon skill and ballistic skill to feel like Celestians, but those are not Celestians. Celestians are the elite, and in 9th edition there were Celestians with all the weapons Battle Sisters could take on a more elite unit, like Stern Guard are more elite than a tactical squad or intercessors, and there were separately Celestian Sacresants, who had the shields, they had the pointy sticks and the bonk hammers. 10th edition only had Celestian Sacresants. And so we come to this leaked page, which looks to be from an upcoming Kill Team set. We have a Celestian Sacresant with shield versus a Chaos Space Marine Raptor with a power weapon. That is very box art looking duel in progress. We know it's a Celestian Sacresant because we've got the candles mounted on the backpack, and we have robes that look to be painted black, and if you're following our Martyred Lady, their Celestians have black robes, whereas most of the rest of the models have red robes. At least at the end of the 41st millennium and into the 42nd millennium, where we currently are in terms of the timeline. You can also kind of make out that on the power armor, on the helmet, there is a fleur-de-lis. Now if you look at that Battle Sister squad that you have, when that was released in 8th edition, you could make Celestians with guns from it. 5 of the helmets have fleur-de-lis, 9 helmets are bare. And there are other parts like the arm holding a helmet which has 2 versions. Part 34 is plain, Part 35 has the fleur-de-lis. This looks too well done to be faked. It's not a list of upcoming points, it has artwork. And I'm pretty sure you can get a buzz going for upcoming leaks by just shouting that something is coming. You've seen it, you're sure. You don't need to make up in extensive detail some artwork and words to go with it. In Spanish. We don't know how long it will be till this is announced, and how long after that it will be released. But upcoming, maybe in the next 6 months, perhaps at the next Games Workshop live stream announcement, which is going to be in like 3 months' time, then they will announce it, and a few months after that, release it. So we could see Celestians by Christmas. And this Celestian has a sword and a shield. Now a sword is a totally different weapon from the mace or the halberd. Is this a kill team that can have all swords? Or a unit that can have all swords? It's pretty easy to kit bash that from some Novitiate swords and the Sacresant sprue. So in terms of kill team, the Novitiates are planned to stop being a kill team as they were only classified for a year. You can still use them, but tournament events are classified only. The Novitiate books will still be sold for 40k games. So the Sanctifiers and the Sacresants continue as the Sisters of Battle kill teams. So if we have an upcoming kill team, that means we have an upcoming unit. Now, is it going to be the same as just Celestian Sacresants, but with more weapon options? Or are we going to see 2 new units from this one kit? One with guns, one with shields. Or it could be a single unit, more like the Novitiates, which has the swords and pistols, or the autoguns in the box, and they're the same squad but with different loadouts. I really want Celestians with guns to come back. It seems silly for Games Workshop to do an update of Celestian Sacresants, as they were a kit released in 9th edition. That is pretty recently. And I don't believe that Games Workshop is doing upgrade sprues anymore for Kill Team. It's new kits only. My source for that is, I think I remember it being said at one point. Celestian Sacresants, but there's a sword, seems really boring. Where would the specialists be? The variety? Give me a Simulacra Imperialis. These have to work in Kill Team. We want to have some obvious specialists. So my hopes are this is a squad of 10, at least you get 10 models in the Kill Team, that can be fielded as 5 or 10, matching what we already have with the Celestian Sacresants, and what we used to have with the Celestians. I would like a sword and shield champion, or you could have the spear and shield, and there's enough shields for at least 5 models, along with halberds and mauls. And also include some fancy pistols, an inferno pistol, and a hand flamer. Very similar to the Celestian Sacresants we already have. So we want to go beyond that. Let's have some bolt guns, Celestians with guns, and special weapons like Condemner bolt guns and combi weapons. No plasma. No plasma. Let's stick to the Holy Trinity. And include heavy weapons like a heavy flamer and especially a multi-melter. We lack multi-melters on plastic models. The only way to get a battle sister with a multi-melter is to buy the very expensive Retributor sprue. Could we have a sniper sister? That is very thematic for Kill Team. A sister that prays for the bullet to hit. You see how guns are far more diverse than X and Shield. It's more suited to a Kill Team if there's guns, so I'm hopeful that we have guns. And we keep seeing gunslinger models with 2 pistols, like the Eldar Corsairs and the Sanctifiers. So how about a Celestian with 2 Inferno pistols or 2 hand flamers? That is just a Seraphim on foot, you say? Well, yeah. That is kind of what Celestians are. In 2nd edition, you could have an elite bodyguard for the Canoness that was just the Seraphim profile on foot with bolters. And so, in the 3rd edition, Celestians were born as their own unit. A bodyguard for your Canoness. Or Palatine. Then Palatines went away for a while. Then they came back in 9th edition. So should there be a character to go with this unit? The Servitors have a character with them. The Raveners have an Alpha, which is a squad leader rather than a character model in itself. But that is also a separate datasheet, which you can attach to other Raveners. Celestians are a bodyguard unit, so it makes sense if there's a character. We could have a Palatine in a better pose, maybe one actually holding a power sword, or a new Canoness model. Because if the monopose Canoness gets phased out as she's not sold anymore, we could do with a way of having a Rod of Office, which is not found on the Canoness's multi-part kit. It really needs fixing. It shouldn't be that hard to have a character with an assortment of guns, a couple of options for melee weapons, and an ability stick. But the Canoness's rules are very confusing for the weapon options. I would love to see that fixed. This is an opportunity to fix that. And update the kit at the same time. Or we could have a new character. A banner bearer like a mini Astrid and Agatha? But that's an Imagifier by any other name. So if we get new Celestians, how does this affect the Champions of Faith? It probably won't. If these Celestians are called Celestian Sacresants, regardless of loadout, which hopefully includes guns, then the new unit is already covered in the detachment as they are Celestian keyword. If these models are a different unit to the Sacresants or have 2 different datasheet options, don't expect the Champions of Faith to be updated. Celestian Sacresant Aveline is not included in the detachment. Games Workshop does include Legends units in detachments. Just look at the Black Spear Task Force for the Death Watch. It mentions Legends units being excluded, and Kill Team Cassius in Agents is Legends, but is included. So what about the Raptors? I suppose we get to talk about the Raptors. Their name roughly translates as like Slaughter Wing Kill Team? Something along those lines. I mean, that previous Raptor kit wasn't that old. It was like 2012. Okay, that is a bit old. This would be a replacement for that Raptor kit. The jump packs look the same. It probably replaces the Warp Talons too, as they were made from the same kit. It's not impossible that once again you get 2 units from one. Games Workshop has continued to do that. Like the Emperor's Children, Infractors/Tormentors are a dual kit that came out this year. Or, more the worst case, the Warp Talons are sent away, and this is Raptors only. I would love for this Raptors unit to be available from many different Chaos factions. Let the Cult Legions have it, like the Death Guard use Raptors, the Emperor's Children use Raptors. The World Eaters use Raptors, it's all in the lore, but not on the tabletop. If you want Raptors, you are limited to playing Codex Chaos Space Marines. So I'm hopeful that we get cool Celestians, and that we get cool Raptors. And I'm sure you'll join me in that. If you want to try using Celestians with guns before this kit comes out, I have a video where I made some rules for them. That is something you can try out. My darlings and viewers, have a great day of 40k.